Hello, beautiful people. Have you ever experienced this kind of raised mood during springtime, like when spring just comes and everything starts getting warmer and sunnier? You are feeling maybe happier. I don't know. I think it's kind of like weird. Like, why do we feel like that? So, of course, we have some differences and changes to our lifestyle, but does it actually like affect us from the biological factors or I don't know, maybe psychological factors? What exactly? What is it? I decided to finally figure it out because I think that's very interesting. So yeah, we should get started. What is changing when spring comes? It gets warmer, we get more sun, the days are getting longer, and the nature is kind of reborn. And what does it have to do with human beings? Like, we're also a living species and something should be connected to us. What makes us change our behavior? Firstly, spring temperatures are moderate. We have a normal temperature outside for a human. It's about 72 degrees. And this is this time when our bodies feel the easiest because they don't need to waste energy on saving ourselves, like during, for example, during the winter, or we don't have this high risks to, I don't know, heart attacks or, I don't know, sunburns or something like that during summertime. And it is easy for our body to just exist. We have more daylight. The studies have found out that the longer the sun is in the sky, the less mental distress people experience. But I don't know, like something about sun just makes me feel like I'm not a big sun fan because I don't like when I'm blinded by the sun. I just hate it, and even right now I can't film normally just because the sun is just getting on my nerves. But still, I must say that sometimes sun is cool, it's nice, and it makes my mood raise. We can't cancel biology. Also, birds. There was also a study in 2017 which showed that people who see more birds in the neighborhood actually feel better. Again, for me, I'm not a big bird fan. I don't like birds singing, so I don't know what it has to do with us, but still, like, maybe it's just, all in all, it's just about the nature, because we have more animals, we have more birds, even though I don't know as for you, but I don't have animals in my neighborhood or anywhere and have running rabbits. Maybe we can see more cats, but I can see a lot of cats in any time of the year, so I don't know if it counts. Still, animals bring people more happiness, and you know, something that is cute just makes our heart beat faster. Another thing is that we can open our windows more. And what does it have to do with our health? We decrease the concentration of pollutants in our rooms and just inside, like furniture, building materials, and cleaning products. It's getting better like that. But also, there may be an evolutionary reasons to our raised mood during springtime. During the springtime, we also can feel increased sex drive. That's just because most mammals tend to coincide during the springtime, and humans are no different. Okay, humans are different, but still something can be here, and there are also interesting facts about that. For example, human hormones like testosterone or estrogens are also increased during the springtime, and it just makes easier for people to have this balanced hormonal state, and it makes it easier to make more people. And also, yes, the fertility is also raised, and I don't know, everything is just so interesting, right? So definitely it just has something to do with the human nature. For example, there tend to be a 10% above average increase in births during March, and this means that these little babies were conceived in June. Basically, June is the end of spring. So research suggests that a women's hormones and men's testosterone linked to ovulation spike to above average levels in June. And also, like, the birth is now in March, that means in spring. So it also means like we're like animals because animals breed during spring. That's not me, that's science. And it is also documented that animals and humans track seasons by measuring the length of a day. And it happens through the biological clock, which also controls the breeding. Can you imagine that? And this biological clock, if we're talking this simply, sits in hypothalamus and it monitors light and basically controls the secrete of melatonin. And when the days get longer, your melatonin levels decrease. And this is why you're feeling more energized during spring. I don't know, I'm just talking about this topic and it is so interesting for me. I think these facts are actually convincing because not that I didn't want to believe that these factors are real, but I want to prove something to myself. And then something really, really crazy that I knew is that during the springtime, it is safer. And when I say safer, I mean safer, not for our health. I'm not talking about health. It's about the crime level. It reduces crime. That's crazy, right? So the robbery rates fall. So after the daylight saving time started in the spring, there was a 27% loss in robberies. And how? Like, I think that's really, really cool. An interesting part here, like we were talking about all of it, about all of the factors, but how is it called? It actually has a name, which is called a spring fever. And I want to say it's not a medical condition. There are still discussions about it, but certainly something is changing, and some of the reasons they actually are connected to springtime. So a spring fever is actually something real, and around like 30% of people overall may experience it. So spring fever refers to a range of mood, physical or behavioral changes that individuals may experience with the onset of spring. Sometimes it makes it hard for people to work or to concentrate. Like, it just feels so good that people may not work properly or as they used to do before. I think maybe you also experienced it when you just don't want to do anything because the weather is great. But spring fever can also be more pronounced in individuals who experience seasonal affective disorder. This is a thing when you experience depression. Oh my god, what is that? Is it a butterfly or is it a bug? Oh my god. Also, for example, for people who experience mental disorders, seasonal swings can also be hard sometimes, even if it's a swing from winter to spring, for example, like bipolar disorder. And sometimes spring is not good for people. Like, we're talking that spring is a nice season when everything is good and we feel okay, but for some people it's not like that. For some people with seasonal affective disorder, spring can also be hard to overcome and they feel depressed during springtime. So it's different for everyone. Also, I would like to notice that the term spring fever was actually not that fun when it was just created, because spring fever was an actual disease when you didn't have enough, basically you didn't have just enough vitamins to get, like for example from food, from fresh food, or just, you know, your immune system is not working enough. And people would end up deficient in vitamin C, like their joints ache, and they generally just felt unambitious. Sometimes people could even die from it. It wasn't fun at all. Right now, we are not using the term spring fever as this condition. It's most likely to be used as a mental thing. So how can you get this mood swings? How can you get more energized? Being outside in the sun is linked to a mood boost, and the 2004 University of Michigan study showed that people who spend more than 30 minutes outside in pleasant weather tend to be happier. During the spring, people just want to spend more of their time outside. Not me, but people want to walk more, to be outside, and this is why they get also happier. It is the weather factor, but to be correct, the weather is not the most important factor here, because the most important variables here are how much time you spend outside and what the season is. And why sun is so important for us. Sun is really important for us because it produces serotonin through our skin, and of course it makes us happier, it makes us just feel better, and this is why people want to walk more. So this is a connection between everything. So your body knows that if you go under the sun, then you get this serotonin levels increased, and so your mood gets better, so you just want to walk more because of that. Simple as it is. And the serotonin levels are also connected to the sex drive. Everything is connected, like, you know, with our hormones. Yes, we're all just living species. Yes, we're humans, like, we're so great, we're so cool, but we're like, sometimes we're just like animals. Sometimes worse, but we're not gonna talk about it. And you know, during springtime, we just wear less clothes during spring, and maybe we just get rid of our usual clothes, because for like 4 or like, I don't know, even 5 months a year, I wear just the same coat because I just want to feel warm. I'm not interested in wearing something really cool. Well, sometimes I am, but it's not a priority for me. Okay, it's the next day now because my sound wasn't recorded for some reason. All of these facts are so amazing. I don't know, I think it's just so fun. I don't know how you feel about it. You can also write in the comments, have you ever experienced a spring fever, or maybe, I don't know, you just feel something weird going on with you. I think people mostly like summer because it's just so hot, everything is green and just like that. But actually spring is biologically the best season for a human being. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. I don't know, you decide. Anyways, I wish you a nice spring, or a nice day, evening, night, or whenever you watch this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye bye.